Hello captains, welcome back to part 2, or the second video, sorry, of this trilogy of videos for Las Vegas, where we are slowly installing all of Las Vegas. So here we are in the same runway as we were on, I'm pretty sure it's the same runway, in the KLAS airport. So the hills in the background are FS Global. Sky is Active Sky. Details are in the description box for what I'm running. Frame rates have steadily improved because I have installed the Las Vegas high resolution texturing from MegaScenery. What it does is it basically rips out all your autogen and replaces it with just your the texturing on the ground, but it's photoreal texturing, so it's what you would actually see. So as you can see, it's pretty barren looking. There's no buildings, you know, except for the airport, which is still here. I think we are on a different runway, and Las Vegas itself, which is still there. But the mesh is from MegaScenery. So let's hop into our aircraft here, C152, and let's get in. Let's take this puppy into the air, and we are going to fly over Las Vegas again, basically pretty much like we did. Oh, there's a UPS 747 there. Pretty cool. Now, I believe my frame rates were between 25 and 30, and they're really jittery because of all the autogen. I twiddled my settings in the last video towards the end of the video when we were flying over the Grand Canyon because they were still stuttering even with MegaSceneryX texturings in. And it's like, well, it shouldn't be doing that, to be honest. MegaScenery actually lowers your frame rates because it doesn't place autogen on top, so it actually improves your performance. So it has slightly improved. I'm actually now getting between, I would say, 28 to 33 frames per second. So it's already done something. It's a bit smoother as well. I've twiddled some of the options again, so I've got a smoother sort of flow of everything here. Here is the resolution mesh from MegaScenery, and the airport still is Rex Airports HD with the P3D add-on. As you can see, it's not exactly totally accurate when it's laid over the texture resolution from MegaScenery. That's the kind of issue you sort of run into. So let's fly towards the actual city of, or the strip as it's called, in Las Vegas, and let's see what we can see. I believe the frame rate should probably improve as we fly over, because we're moving away from the airport. Airports will also take your frames. So as you can see, I wouldn't say that this is totally accurate. Like placements of the buildings. Let's dip down here. So I don't know where the strip is for the hotels here, but like all these buildings are the hotels. All these flat ones are the actual hotels, and then there's just been a couple that have been placed on top. This is all P3D default building models. So all of these really should be buildings. You know, all this stuff here. The mesh itself is okay. I mean, we're down at 2,000 feet. It's acceptable mesh, I would say. That resolution is acceptable, but it can be better. Let's go over towards that tower, because we were coming sort of towards that tower in the last video when we sort of left it. So what we're going to do is, there's an airport over there as well, I can see. Our airport that we took off from must be over this way. Yep, over there. So we'll take a little bit of a climb, and we just want to get a look at what this mega scenery Las Vegas X Ultra Res looks like. The stutters are back. I thought I'd sort of improved that, but for some reason the stutters are back. The only thing that I have done since like for the past maybe 3 or 4 videos is defrag my hard drive. So maybe that's the worst thing you can do for a flight sim computer, I don't know. But worth checking in. Oh hello, look at that lovely hotel there. Very nice indeed. So the mesh, of course, the mesh is quite, or sorry, the texture is quite nice. You know, and I know it's accurate. I know it's the actual city below, that is. So if we wanted to do VFR flying using the roads, using landmarks, I could to a degree. Landmarks are probably a bit harder in the city of Las Vegas because them landmarks are flat and there's only a couple of buildings being placed there. Like that is clearly a hotel of some sort that's quite high, but it's very flat here. I mean, you can pretty much tell the tall buildings from the flat ones. So, but the main thing about this resolution or this texture is that when you're flying a big jumbo jet or an airliner at like 20,000 feet, you're looking down and it's looking awesome. That's the main thing, really. We are at 3,600 feet. So, and it also depends as well as how fast the stuff is loading as to how good it'll be. The texture resolution is 50 centimeters to the ground, which that's pretty good, that is, you know. But if it doesn't load fast, you're not getting the sharp resolution, you're getting blurry textures, and that's just no good. If you know you want sharp textures, you want them to load fast so you can see that sharpness, and then they look a lot better. If they don't load fast, then they're going to be blurry and they're actually going to look lower in resolution. So there we go. And so I know I've got some issues with my sim because it's stuttering, textures are loading slowly. I need to have a look and sort of troubleshoot that as well. So this is what the texture looks like. It covers all of Las Vegas City. There's the airport. We're going to go in for a landing, I feel. And then we are going to end the video once I land. Because in the third video, I am going to... In fact, no, sorry. This is a two-parter video. So in the second part of this video, I am going to go away and I am going to install Aerosoft Las Vegas X Airport, City, sorry, into the sim. And so these buildings here will change. There'll be more buildings surrounding the airport there. Even the airport will be updated with the textures that it's got now. They still will be high definition. The guys at Aerosoft say that all it does is it doesn't give you like scenery stuff. It just replaces the building textures that are already on there by giving you high definition ones, which is ones we've already got. So they obviously won't be exactly the same. They'll look a little bit different, but we can sort of see what they do look like. And all these buildings will have changed. Will have a very different, more sort of active strip as well. So that's the second part of this video, and then in the third video we will basically be installing just the airport from FS Dream Team, and then that will change the scenery again, and how it blends in with all this will be very interesting. Now they all do say that you can use all of them independently, like you can use them all at the same time. So I can still have this mega scenery for Las Vegas installed with the Las Vegas X add-on, which seems kind of silly because Las Vegas X also has photoreal textures as well. So it's like, well, so what's the point? Probably doesn't extend as far out as MegaSceneryX does. That's why you'd want to keep it. But we are coming down at a pretty weird angle here. Let's get a bit more speed. Let's turn a bit here. There we go. Final stage of flaps. Is it final stage? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's land this sucker now. So, yeah, second half of this video, it will change quite a bit. It's a good thing this is a C152, and it's long. My landings have been very poor lately, so I need to sort that out. Okay, let's float this down to the ground and butter that bread. Here we go. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so thank you, and I shall see you in part 2 when Las Vegas X is installed. Hello, welcome back to part 2 of this video. So, we have just installed Aerosoft, the Las Vegas X city, and it doesn't really include the airport, so we won't be including that. It's more so the strip and all the buildings that are contained within it. So, looking at the strip, we see a lot more buildings that are contained within. There's a lot more buildings surrounding the Las Vegas as well, down here. A lot more have popped in now, because before, as we had MegaScenery involved with Las Vegas Ultra Res, there were no buildings, but now there's quite a few. Now, when I took off at the airport, my frames were actually better, but I fear going closer to the strip here, it's probably going to get worse. Probably not going to have the same frames we had before, but looking at the buildings and the quality of the add-ons now, or the models, are so much better. I feel much more realistic than what they were before, and there's more of them as well. They weren't just like one or two, and they weren't just sort of one or two dotted around. There's quite a few of them. You know, if you had a helicopter, you could really fly in here and see how highly detailed they are. So that's all MegaScenery tiling out there, and then all this is what Las Vegas X has placed in within the sim. And you know, I've got no issues here. My frames are actually quite reasonable, considering it's quite smooth now. I think there is a slight jitter, but nothing to cry about. But just comparing the previous video to this one, the flyover is much more now satisfying than it once was before. There's so much going on down there. The buildings look really quite nice, and I bet you any money in the right lights as well, this would look pretty cool. So let's give it a whirl, shall we? We'll do a pass round, and we'll just change the time a little bit. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's just mega, really, isn't it? And then we can even pass it over to the other time and get a little bit of the night times in, and oh my gosh, look at that. That's just gorgeous. So, I mean, you know, the verdict is Aerosoft Las Vegas X is a great addition to the Nevada state. It's a great addition and sort of integration as well. We can see here that my auto gen doesn't go out as far as the eye can see. I've sort of restricted it. but it does mesh in well. You can see the clear line here where Aerosoft is, and then where MegaScenery is, and it blends in very nicely. You know, all the roads and that, the layouts of everything is pretty nice indeed. It also includes, or it says it also includes, new mesh as well for the Grand Canyon, which you can see in the distance. Now, we didn't really fly over that area before, but I can tell just by looking at it, it's more detailed mesh than what was previously installed. And what was previously installed was FS Global, so you can pretty much, you know, say how good that was. But this one looks even better than that. Oh, everyone's got a swimming pool in Las Vegas. Look at that. I wonder which house Liberace lived at. So there we go. Basically, that's pretty much all I have to say. This next video we're going to do is going to be a two-parter again. I'm going to go away. I'm going to install the airport now that we took off from in the beginning of this video, and we're going to see what changes are made when I install the airport from FS Dream Team, I believe it is, and see what how they put things in, and then we'll go fly the Grand Canyon at the end of that video and see the difference of, if any, of what Aerosoft do to the Grand Canyon. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in part 3, in the third video rather, in the third for this trilogy. Take care, everybody. Keep it flying.